Hello, welcome back. So, I meant to record this yesterday, but you know, it didn't go to plan. Monday, I don't know what day it is. Monday, along with the fantastic news that I'm officially in remission, also made it to where they gave me my second flu shot. So yesterday was not a fun day. It was one of those days where I think I took a nap, which I had perfected throughout all of this. Midday napping, but I never fully went like hard asleep. It was more like a midday dozing because I had to listen for the phone, listen for my email. Not yesterday. No, that flu shot, I took a 3-hour hard nap. It was ridiculous. So that was fun. And then what else happened today? Oh, what else has happened? So next steps. So I've officially been turned back over to my original oncologist. So I sent them an email on Monday about it. I haven't heard from him, so I called him and was like, when does he want to see me? When does he want to start the Acetris and infusions? So even though I'm technically in remission, I have a year of Acetris infusions still left, which is fine. I get to live my life and do everything. Those don't really affect a whole lot, so I'm good. But so I need to make it to 2 years without a relapse. We are 80 to 90% sure that that's going to happen. Closer to the 90 because of how well I have done and how well my body responded and how little cancer was left in my system before I did the bendamustine and Acetris last September, which according to the PET scan wiped everything out. And hopefully it did kill everything. And the stem cell transplant was just a CYA, hopefully that's what happened kind of thing. But to be safe, the Acetris is going to happen again for another year. And the Acetris is not chemotherapy, it's immunotherapy. I think I just said that, but just in case I didn't just say that. It's not chemotherapy, it's immunotherapy. So it's not as hard on my system. It's not toxic, I don't think. And so we should be good on that aspect. But we're trying to figure out, because my doctor was like, we don't normally have people getting a hysterectomy 4 months after getting a stem cell transplant. I was like, almost 5. It's at the end of April, almost 5. And he was like, still, that doesn't normally happen. And I was like, yeah, but we've been putting this hysterectomy off for like a year and a half. And at this point in time, it's required. I was like, things are not functioning well. Things are very bad. And he was like, yeah, I can see that in some of your labs. And I was like, yeah. So, I mean, not massively because that's more hormonal, but some stuff's just a little low, that kind of stuff, which also I could be anemic. So I have to start taking some iron pills. And then I have to, I'll deal with that in a minute. So I have to do the Acetris for a year. And then if I stay cancer-free for a year after that, my relapse probability, I guess, goes from 85 to 95% that I'm not going to relapse. Closer to the 95%. And each year after that, it goes up until at 5 years, not cured, but they consider me long-term remission because since I have the drug-resistant CD30 marker, so the CD30 marker is actually in all Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's indicative of it. But there is a drug-resistant CD30 marker, and there is no way to tell those apart. See which one is which. There is no way. So unfortunately, we got that little surprise last August that I have the drug-resistant CD30 marker. So Citrus has been very good at fighting that. So my outcome's pretty darn good. But there's always a chance I could relapse. If I do, there are other options. They're just not ones we all want to take that leap towards right now. The fact that it only showed up in this lymph node, there is a possibility that we caught it early enough that it didn't spread. And that there's a chance they could just irradiate this lymph node and kill it, if that's the case. If it shows back up again and it's only here again, there's a chance that they'll just irradiate. And we're not going to irradiate because that increases your breast cancer, even though it would just be right here. And they can do pinpoint irradiation. Doesn't mean anything, but there's a high probability that this year I'm going to get a preventative mastectomy. So if that's the case, we could just irradiate that. In fact, I'm going to talk to him about that, since it only really showed up in this lymph node. Is there a way that we could just irradiate this and this itty bitty little section and still do the Citrus, but also just irradiate that little section, and then I'll get the preventative mastectomy anyway, and we're good to go. So we're gonna see what he says. I have questions for him. But anyway, so if I make it to the 3-year mark, it'll increase. If I make it to the 4-year mark, it'll increase. By 5 years, if I make it there, no relapse, the likelihood of me relapsing again is slim. But as my doctor said, it can happen. He goes, it's only happened twice in my career that if I relapse, it's probably going to be in my 80s. It's fine. But it's happened twice in his career that one relapsed at 15, one relapsed at 20. Now they had options, and I would have options at that age, but your odds aren't good or great. I guess your odds aren't great. They could probably buy you another 15-ish years, 10, 15, but then maybe. But then you're kind of done. But he told me, he was like, just get to 5 years, because I think in 5 years, they're going to have an immunotherapy cure, because they're working on it right now, for Hodgkin's, including drug-resistant Hodgkin's. And he was like, so if you get that, or he was like, if you make it to 5 years, even if it relapses, it doesn't matter, because we can just do the immunotherapy cure. And I was like, okay. He was like, just make it 5 years. And I was like, okay. So that's where we're at. But the consensus is I just live my life now. We'll still be doing PET scans, I think, every 3 months now for the next 2 years. And then we'll see how it goes. But hopefully I make it the next 24 months without a relapse. And if that's the case, he said it's not likely I would relapse after 24 months. Could happen, but it's not likely. After 5 years, it's slim. So we're just hoping we get to 24 months now. But I'm just going to live my life. I can't just keep putting my life on hold. And now that I've been cleared with, using common sense, I can live my life. We're good. So hopefully the hair comes back fully. It's coming back, but I've still got like these thinner spots here. We think that's the PCOS and not really the chemo or anything. So we'll see how that goes after the hysterectomy. But I hope everyone has a great rest of the day and rest of the week. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.